Good morning, all of you. I hope you can hear me. Lucy Mutuku, good morning. Mutuku, can you hear me?
Yes.
Zainab,
Morning.
Zainab, good morning. Zainab Abdullahi, can you hear me? Zainab must be in a shop in Isiri selling clothes, but she doesn't want to respond. Zainab, I did not tell you to raise your hand. I asked you good morning. Ahmed Mali, how are you? Ali Mohammed,
I'm fine. Yes, I'm hearing you, teacher.
I thought you are with Zainab in Isiri selling clothes.
I am not with her.
You are not with her because you're also doing the same course. Anyway, that was just on a light note. I take this opportunity to welcome you in this particular class, including Mildred. Mildred, I can see you. You have a photo there, we can see. And every one of you in Brian. Brian is a DCMS student. I take this opportunity to welcome all of you in this particular class. And I'm happy that at least you have joined. I'm sharing a link there for communication skills for Wednesday, our WhatsApp link. So if you know that, if you know that you're not in the group and you'd want to join, I have already shared the link there. You can start joining as we proceed with our class. Because before I proceed with the class today, I take this opportunity again to do a recap on what we learned last week. So for those who joined us last week in class, we looked at is it topic 6? It was topic 6. And in this particular topic 6, we were looking at types of reading. And we looked at skimming. We also looked at scanning. And we also looked at study reading. And we said before you start to read or before you engage yourself with a written material, you need to prepare yourself. And there are 3 types of preparation that you need to make. We talked about psychological preparation. Make sure that your mind is settled and you are ready to, you are mentally ready to read. Then from there, we also looked at physiological preparation. Physiological preparation makes sure that where you are seated is a comfortable place. Make sure that there is enough air ventilation, there is enough lighting. Also, make sure that you are well fed. Don't start reading and you slept hungry. Make sure that you are well fed, and also make sure that where you are seated, there is no noise. There's a physical noise that we talk about. Those are physiological preparations. Again, we also talked about another one is psychological. We talked about psychological preparation. I've already talked about it. Physical preparation and also emotional preparation. It's good to be emotionally intelligent and emotionally comfortable when you are handling a written material. Those people who are very angry, those people are very happy, excited. And those people who are very stressed up, it's true that you cannot concentrate on a written material, and therefore it is good that you are prepared emotionally to read. Apart from that, we also talked about the study reading, and we said study reading is what most of us do, especially if we are reading to study, to understand, and also to do examinations. We do study reading. We don't do scanning or skimming. Skimming and scanning is not a good way of reading and understanding the material, because chances are very high that you will leave the most important details. Chances are very high. Also, and on study reading, we also talked about the 3S, the SQ3R. We said that there is the survey, you need to survey the material. You need to question the material. You need to read the material, and then you need to revise the material, and also read the material, revise the material, and review the material as you read. And from there, we also looked at barriers to effective reading. We talked about fear. We talked about criticism. We talked about other barriers like blindness. We also talked about other barriers like dyslexia, dyscalculia, and dysgraphia. Dyslexia, dyscalculia, and dysgraphia. We talked about those. And then we also looked at ways in which you can improve your reading. Having said that, that's a summary of what we did last week. I think now we can move on to topic 7. And topic 7 is usually topic 9. Topic 9. But I have brought it so that we can look at it in topic 7, so that from next week we'll be looking at topic 8 and 9. Topic 8 and 9 talks about the writing skills. In those two topics, comes with topic 8 part 1, then topic 9. Topic 9 is topic 8 part 2. So we will be looking at it in the previous, in not previous weeks, in the coming weeks. Then after that, then we'll be ready to sit for our exam. Those will be our final topics. All writing skills. Now, topic 9, I have pushed it to be topic 7. Topic 8 and topic 9 will be topic 9. Topic 9, I'm actually teaching it as topic 7. Topic 8 and topic 9 will be topic 9, topic 10. That's what I'm saying. So next week we'll be holding topic 8, topic 9, topic 10. That's how it is. Now, having said that, I hope you've understood what I've just said, not confused anybody. Allow me to share my screen so that we can start our today's lesson. Today's lesson, we are going to focus on library skills. Very important topic, because I believe and I know some of us goes to the library and we are not even able to use the library. You go there, you keep on going to the library assistant. I'm not saying it's wrong. It is good to be independent when it comes to using the library. Good to be independent, to know exactly what you're supposed to do in the library. Just like you know what you're supposed to do in class, it is also good to know what you're supposed to do in the library. So then we ask ourselves, what is a library? There are two definitions there with keywords that we are going to look at. We talk about a library. Definition number 1 talks about a library is a collection of well-documented books, well-documented journals, well-documented newspapers, and other forms of information that is printed and non-printed. In other words, we are saying that when you go to the library, you will not only get printed materials, but you will also get non-printed materials, like soft copies book that you receive. If I want a communication skills book and I visit my library, I'll be given, I may be given a soft copy book that I'm supposed to put, that they send on my email. I download it, I put in my flash disk, and then I do what? Use my computer to read that particular soft copy book. So a library is a collection of well-documented books, and also printed and non-printed materials. Here we are saying a student, a university student, just like you are, because you are a university student, are required to be self-reliant. That is how I started. You need to be independent. You need to be self-reliant. Your desire for knowledge cannot be satisfied by your lecturers alone. Don't expect your lecturer, your health and wellness lecturer, to satisfy all your desire for knowledge. Don't expect your communication skills teacher, lecturer or teacher or tutor or whatever name you call him to satisfy your desire for knowledge. I cannot satisfy your desire for knowledge. I do not have all the answers to the questions that you have. I don't have them. And therefore, as a student, you have to do a lot of searching. You need to have a lot, you have to do a lot of searching. And the searching will take the form of debating with people. You sit down, you debate with people, ask questions, Google, get into the internet, search information, and so on and so forth. Also, your desire for knowledge will require you to do what? To observe what is existing in the world and finding what others have done or written. So you therefore need to learn how to use a library. It's a must. When I teach about library skills, this reminds me when I was a student like you. I first visited University of Nairobi library. It's called Jomo Kenyatta Library. Jomo Kenyatta Library. And I was looking for a certain book in public relations. So when I got there, I asked the library assistant, can I get this book? The library assistant told me, use the computer there. And the computer there, I think they don't have a mouse. It's called opaque. They don't have a mouse. They give you a number of the book, then you search it in the computer. So when you search in the computer, you find that that book, it's there. We have 5 copies of the book. 2 copies, you will find them in Chiromo Library, one of the branches of University of Nairobi. Other 2 books, you will find them in Kikuyu Library. There is another branch called Extramural Studies in Kikuyu. Another 2 books, you will find them in the main campus. Another 2 books, you will find them in Kabete, School of Business and Economics in Kabete. So that system tells you that the books are available. To where do you specifically get the book from? Sometimes it will tell you that this book has been borrowed. It is not in the library. It is there. It has been borrowed. You need to know how to use such what we call such machines or such computers to search for books. You need to know to locate a book where it is. You don't start from the ground floor looking for only one particular book, communication skills or communication methods book. You search every book, every count, every shelf, looking for one book. And maybe you only have to go to that floor and you get the book. You go to that floor, maybe second floor, third floor, second shelf, you get the book. So therefore, that's definition number one. Definition number two, we are saying a library is a collection of selected information, resources which are organized and preserved for reading, for studying, and for consultation. It's a collection of selected information. So in other words, we are saying that if you go to the library, it's not a guarantee that what you are looking for, a written material, you will find it in the library, because it is a selection. It's a selection of some books. So it doesn't mean that if I visit my library, that I'll get a book on cartoons. Maybe I'm looking for Tintin, the cartoon book. It doesn't mean that I'm going to get it, because a library has a collection of selected information sources. And these selected information sources, they are organized. That's why you find shelves. Those books are organized. They are not just put haphazardly. If I'm looking for a book, I'll have to look from shelf number 1, shelf number 170. That is not what it means. That person who is speaking. Do you know I'm going to kick you, Susan Nokwe? I'll kick you outside this class. Because your microphone is on. We usually say that when you are coming to class, make sure that you switch off your microphone. When you look at this definition, there are some words there. Selected. Selected simply means what? Selected simply means that most university libraries select their material using internationally accepted principles, selection, and correct selection. That all materials acquired through this donation will be selected. Only the relevant ones is the ones that you use. Sometimes you can receive material through donations. You'll find that a library in Oxford University has donated some books to a library in Kenya. So it doesn't mean that whatever has been donated from Oxford University, you should use them. No, it simply means select what you want. The other ones you can donate also to another university that requires that particular selection of books. Number two, we are talking about library is organized. When you talk about organized, we are saying that when you visit the library, things are not arranged haphazardly. Things are not haphazard. So it is not possible. It is only possible to use a collection in a library if they are properly organized. That's why the library assistant will tell you, go to shelf number 3, the second row. Check on the second row, you will find that book. That's why they will give you a number. They will tell you this, the number of that book is maybe 126B. So if you go there on the second shelf, the third row, you'll find this number is on that particular row or that shelf. So it is organized. So material are organized by means of classification and what we call cataloging. By classifying, library materials are grouped together according to subject. So you'll find that communication books, they are on the third floor. You'll find that maybe, for example, principles, management books are on the first floor. Maybe the first the first row is management books. So they are assigned a call number that enables the user to locate that particular material. So but by cataloging, the user are informed of what is available in the library and what is not available. Just like I told you when I visited the University of Nairobi for the first time, I got a machine there and I was given a catalog number. When I fed the machine with that catalog number, it gave me that there are 6 books. So 2 books, you'll find them in Kabete Library, School of Business and Economics. 2 books, you'll get them in the main campus. 2 other books, you're going to get them in this particular library called the Extramural along Kikuyu, in Kikuyu. That's how it is. So and it can actually that machine it tells you whether the book has been borrowed or not, or whether it is there or not. So another key term is preserved. The books in the library, they have to be preserved. Why? Because these books, they will be read by many people. Yesterday, I was listening to some conversation by some old men, and they were talking about so many things that happened in Kenya. We're talking about colonization. We're talking about the Kikuyu traditions and all that. And one old man, very old, maybe he's about 80 years, something like that, or even 90. He said that he once visited the National Archive looking for a book of the Kikuyu traditions that was there before. And he was told that that book never exists. So I don't know, but now when you talk about preservation, we are saying that the book needs to be preserved because it will be used by many people, including the old, the young. Any Tom, Dick, and Harry can come and look for that book. So preservation is simply maintenance of a library material in their original condition through retention and proper care. We need to take care of that material. That's why when you go to the library, you pick a very nice book. And then when you're returning it, some pages are out. The library will charge you for what? For that, for services, because that book needs some services. And if it cannot be repaired, then the library assistant may tell you to buy another book. So if materials are damaged, they can be preserved through restoration. And this is the procedure that improves the condition of what we call damaged books or damaged objects, and the attempt to reclaim it close as possible to original condition. So if you go to the library, you find that some books have been recovered, as in a new cover has been made, or a hard cover has been put to reinforce the book, or you'll find that that book has been bound again so that that book can stay as long as it takes. So reading, studying, and consultation. From the definition, again, definition number 2, we have come across reading, studying, and consultation. Now, library materials are meant for leisure reading, for example, recreational, for study, e.g. textbook, for consultation, etc. That is what it is for. So when you talk about consultation, we are not saying that when you go to the library, you start now making noise, having a discussion with your friend. Now, consultation here means that when you take a book from the library and you seclude yourself somewhere, consult with the written material. You read, you consult the written material. It's like you are reading and discussing amongst yourself between the writer of the book and yourself. So that is what we mean consultation. So importance of teaching library skills. Why should we teach you library skills? Number 1, because most students in Kenya, they have not had an opportunity to use well-organized libraries. I can tell you for sure, there are people here who have never stepped in a library. I can tell you for sure. And this is because at both primary levels and secondaries in Kenya, libraries hardly exist. Library hardly exists in Kenya. They hardly exist. Because putting a library as a school is very expensive. Imagine building a library, making sure that there are books, making sure that every day you have a newspaper, making sure that it's not easy. Imagine, for example, the lowest costing book is maybe, for example, 200 shillings or maybe 300. That is the cheapest book. And you need like maybe 8,000 books in the library. How much is that? It's very expensive to have a library in school. And therefore you find that many people were not able to come across a library. And when they come across one, these libraries were poorly organized with what we call small collections of material. So setting up a library is not a cup of tea. It's not a cup of tea. It's very costly and very expensive. That's why you'll find that many secondary schools in Kenya and many primary schools in Kenya do not have libraries. Some of us came across a library when we went to a university to pursue a diploma or to pursue a certificate or even a degree. That's when you were amazed. That's when you were perplexed to see a library, many collection of books. Ukashtuka ukashindwa huku ni wapi. And then you took a picture and you said, mwalimu amehesabu alisema hatutaenda mbali. Na ukapost WhatsApp while you were in the library. So therefore, students joining universities need to be taught information handling skills. You need to be taught how to handle information. And these handling skills or information handling skills will help you not only to maximize the use of their respective libraries or your respective libraries, but also to enable you to make use of any other library other than university library. I can tell you for sure, libraries are many. Personally, I've visited so many libraries in Kenya. I've visited St. Paul's University's library. I have visited University of Nairobi Library. And when I talk about University of Nairobi, I'm talking about several branches. Kabete branch, that is School of Economics and Business and Economics. I've visited what we call University of Nairobi, this branch called Extramural, Kikuyu. I've also visited the main campus, Chiromo campus also. And I can tell you, the library has got so many books. I've visited Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture's library. I've visited Moi University's library. I've visited this other one called what? Along Thika Road, Kenya Power and Lightning Library. I have visited Kenyatta University's library. I have visited National Archives because that one is also a library. And I've also visited National Library along, is it Upper Hill? Not Upper Hill, Upper Mahali kuna NHIF there. There is a library there. I have visited that library. I've also visited a district library. Is it a district library in Nakuru? So there are so many libraries that I've visited. So many of them. So many of them. And I can actually tell you the skills or the skills that I gained. I've also visited Zitech University's library, both the Mangu campus and also the TRC campus. So I know how libraries operate, and I don't have to do what? To ask for assistance from the library assistant, unless now I need the library assistant as so much. So the skills that you gain in accessing books in the library are the same skills that you're going to apply in other libraries. So that is the reason why we teach library skills. So number two, currently, more emphasis is put on student-oriented learning, where lecturers' role is to provide skeleton notes. So every lecturer that is teaching you, his work is to provide for you skeleton notes. And it is upon you as a student to fill those skeletons with information. Like today, we are doing what we call library skills. If I'm to teach library skills, for sure, I'll take like 3 weeks. If I'm to teach library skills, all of it, I'll take 3 good lessons. I'll take 9 hours teaching you library skills. But because of time, I'm actually giving you a glimpse of what library skill is all about. So these are skeleton notes that you also need to go to the library and fill this skeleton with notes. Therefore, and this one is it's only possible if you visit a library. That's why we teach you library skills. So therefore, the students need to acquire some library skills in order to use the resources effectively. You need library skills to use the resources effectively and even to avoid wasting time. So imagine you visit a library, you find that there are 20 people who want to be assisted by 1 library assistant or 2 library assistants. They don't know how to source information from the library. And you have gone there also to study. You want the library assistant, the 2 library assistants, to also help you. You will have to wait for a lot of, for so long for these people to be served one by one, then you. So you may have you can even have wasted, you will find yourself that you have wasted more than even 20 minutes or even 30 or even 1 hour or even a whole day waiting to be served by 2 assistants who are very busy serving the 20 students who want to retrieve books from the who are trying to get books from the library. So you'll find yourself wasting a lot of time. If you have all the skills that you need, then you will not waste time. You will just go and get the catalog number, locate the book, pick the book, go to where you're supposed to sit, seclude yourself from a noisy environment, sit somewhere and start engaging or consulting with the material that you get from the library shelves. That's how it is. The next thing is that the growth of seminar and tutorial teaching, especially in project work, in undergraduate courses, has provided the need for use of library. As I talk to you, all of you, you are our students. I can assure you, and I can tell you without any doubt of contradiction, that all of you at the end of your course, before you graduate, you will have to do what we call a project. A project is a scholarly work that you write. And that scholarly work that you write, you will need to consult the library like nobody's business. You'll have to consult the library and various books, not one book, like nobody's business. So that is why we teach you how to use the library. So that time when you'll be doing your final project, you'll not you'll not start disturbing people. I cannot locate this. I don't know where this shelf is. Where is this book? No, hautasumbua watu. So what are some of the aims of the library? We have various aims of a library. Number 1 is to store a wide range of academic material in order to facilitate independent pursuit by both students and staff. I've forgotten to tell you, I've also visited Kenya Revenue Authority, KRA library. The topmost, it is in the, actually, it is one of the, it is at the topmost floor. That's where they have their library. Topmost floor at this building called what? Is it this building where they are? It is the topmost. Inakuanga pale juu kabisa. It's Kenya Revenue Authority. Like, I mean, not Kenya Revenue Authority's library. Now, the aim of a library is to store a wide range of academic material in order to facilitate independent academic pursuit. Anybody who wants to pursue academic, you visit the library. Like I've told you, I've gone to this library called Kenya Power and Lightning Library. When I visited that library, I was doing my undergraduate and I was doing my research. I was doing my project. And I came to realize that in our library, Moi University, we didn't have enough books. We didn't have current books. The books that were there were antiquated or obsolete or old-fashioned. So I was looking for a library that has got current books. So a friend of mine introduced me to a library assistant there, so I could visit that library and access some books. And I can tell you for sure, KPLC, they have their own library. And the reason why they have their own library, maybe you are doing a course in a university and you want books that will help you understand or that will help you gain more information. That is why it is there. That wamekupea freedom ya kusoma pia. You can pursue your academic dreams as still you are working. Number two is to foster and create interest among students and staff to interact with the material available in the library. So sometimes the library is there to do what? To foster and create interest among the students and staff to interact with the material available in the library. Like if you visit our library, you will find some staff reading some books. Zitec University staff, they are reading books. And you're wondering, what are these people doing here? You are wondering, what is my teacher doing in the library? He's also pursuing something. He's also pursuing either a PhD or a master's degree. So he has decided, let me go and sit down and read for my exams. So that's how it is. Also, it's to assist students to become more effective in independent research and locating appropriate reading material for various tasks. It helps you. The aim of a library is to assist students to become more effective, to become more independent. To become more independent is in even doing research and locating available written material or books. Then the last thing is to encourage students and staff to explore new things. If we bring new books, current books, we are actually telling you, go and read those new books. There's something new you might find in those new books. So we are encouraging you, go and read, go to the library. So there are various types of a library, and we will look at them. There are at least 5 types of a library in Kenya. 1, we have National Library. 2, we have Public Library. 3, we have Academic Library. 4, we have Private Library. And 5, we have Special Library. So we have various types of libraries. We have said 1 is National Library, 2 is Public Library, number 3 is Academic Library, we have private libraries, and we also have special libraries. So public libraries, we start with public libraries. Now, public libraries, they are those libraries that are provided from the public funds through the local authority or the Ministry of Local Government. And the use of any of this library is not restricted to any person. Like when I was in primary school, teachers used to go on strike during the reign of Moi. Teachers used to go on strike. They went on strike severally. And when they were going on strike, they were staying for so many weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 weeks. And what will I be doing for 6 weeks if teachers have gone on strike? I used to go to one of the local libraries that was there. And when you visit that library, you find that everybody is there. Those who are in the university are there. People who are working are there. Children of the age between 5 and 10, they are there. Huh? Every Tom, Dick, and Harry, they're in the library. So if you visit the library very late, you will not get a place to sit and read. So if you knew very well you are going to the library to read, you wake up very early so that when it is being opened like this, you'll be the first one to enter. And these libraries, they are freely available to all members of the public. Anybody can get in. The library that I'm telling you that is in Upper Hill, that library, you can get in and read. The National Archives we have here, you can just get in. Nobody will ask you where you are going. And you can go and pick a book and read. Nobody will tell you, return the book. Only thing that you cannot do is to borrow that. You can only borrow a book from such libraries if at all you are a member there. Functions of a public library, they promote reading among grown-ups, promote reading among adolescents, children, youth, regardless of their age, because it is open to everybody. Public library are open to everyone. So it provides a wide range of loan books, loan services. It provides a wide range of loan services based on systems of individual libraries. You can borrow reading material from them as long as you are a member. And you find that people steal a lot of books from such libraries. Just give me a second. 1 second, please. Let me do something here I'm supposed to do. We can now come back from a small break that we had. Something that I was working on. We have looked at the function of the library, and we have said they promote reading among grown-ups because private libraries or public libraries are meant for every person in the community, including if it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter whether you are a house girl or not. It's for everybody, for every Kenyan. It doesn't even matter your age. You can visit those libraries, pick a book and read. Especially maybe, for example, you are idle, you are in town, in Upper Hill. You can get into the library instead of going to Uhuru Park to lie down and roll on the grass. Just go to the library, pick a very nice storybook, read. Or even just borrow a newspaper because newspapers are there, read them. It provides a wide range of loan services based on systems of individual library. You can borrow a reading material from them. That means that you can borrow a material or a book from public libraries if at all you are a member. You need to be a member. You need to register as a member. Then from there, you can borrow a book. Loan service. Loan service, I don't mean money. This one refers to books. You can borrow a book and you are given a duration, the duration that you're supposed to have the book, and then you return it once the duration is over. But if you overstay with the book, they overcharge you also. They will charge you. Like I remember a situation, but this one was the University of Nairobi Library. A situation whereby I borrowed a book. I borrowed a book for someone. Someone told me I cannot borrow a book because I don't have the student ID. So what I did, I went and borrowed a book on his behalf. Of course, when you borrow a book, you're borrowing with my name. So I borrowed a book and gave this friend of mine the book, and he overstayed with the book with about 7 days. So I was being overcharged 50 shillings per day. So when we calculated, it was about 350 shillings. So I told the guy, I cannot return this book. You will have to give me 350 shillings, of which I did, and I returned the book. So when you overstay with the book, you pay for the charges. Same case with many public and private libraries. They strive to serve the whole community by doing what? Being supplemented by mobile and traveling libraries. There are some libraries, we call them mobile libraries or traveling libraries. Also, they provide special facilities for special categories of people. For example, the old. You'll find that there are materials there that the old can actually read. Like I gave you an example of a conversation that I was watching on YouTube. And this old mzee of around 80 years, he was saying that he went to look for a book about the Kikuyu tradition in the Kenyan archive, and he was told that that book does not exist. Initially, it was existing. Then he went to the other library, and he was told the same. So those books, so in other words, we are saying they provide special facilities for what? For special categories of people like the old. Like that old man was looking for such a book. So they organize provision of services for hospitals and jails and other disadvantaged group of people in the society. You will not be shocked to go to a prison and find that they have their own library. Because nowadays, prison, they are not meant to punish the wrongdoers. No, prison nowadays, they are meant to be correction facilities. They correct your behaviors. That's why you hear somebody like Onyancha, who used to drink people's blood in Naivasha, and he had killed a lot of people and buried them in weird places and hidden their bodies on very weird places. And he went to the jail. I still believe that he's still in jail. Don't know which one, whether it is Committee or I don't know. He became a pastor. He's now a pastor preaching. So when we have jails in our country, the jails are not meant to punish the wrongdoers. They are meant to correct their behaviors. So the question, the problem now comes in when these wrongdoers have been corrected and they come back from the jail. The society doesn't want to associate themselves with them because they still think the same Onyancha who used to kill people is the same Onyancha that has been released. His behaviors are still the same. So that is it. So if you go to places like prison, you'll find that there are libraries. Hospitals, I've never seen libraries in hospitals. I've never seen them because who will read the books? The doctors or the sick. So the ideal library should provide access to knowledge for all people in the country and community, regardless of race, creed, color, tribe, etc. Creed simply means belief. Creed is belief. It doesn't matter your religion. creed is religion or belief. Then we also have national libraries, like the National Archives. You have always heard of the National Archives. Also, they are called the reference libraries. If you go to National Archives, chances are you will never be given any book there. If you are a publisher and you publish a book, you publish your own book. Now you are supposed to take one copy to the National Archive, National Library, as a reference book. So if you publish a book, say for example, sexual immorality is your book. Sexual immorality in the society is your book. And that book has undergone all the processes that are needed. You need to drop one book as a reference in the library. So that is what in the National Library. That's why we call national libraries as reference library. And usually books in such libraries are for references only. You cannot borrow books. References books are never borrowed. So the references library is copyright library, since its main function is to collect and preserve books, to preserve periodicals. Periodicals are things like magazines, things like magazines, mostly newspapers published in the century for posterity or prosperity. For example, if you go to the National Archives, they'll be able to give you the first newspaper that was published in Kenya, and you cannot borrow it. You cannot, because it is a reference material. So if you need a newspaper that was published on Monday and you cannot find it anywhere, just go to the National Archives. You will find it. That's why it is a national library. And it is achieved through law requiring publisher to deposit copies of all publications issued to them and by purchasing books published in other countries. Then we also have other libraries like special libraries, and the only special libraries, they contain a collection of books and other materials dealing with a limited field of knowledge. Like if you go to KEMRI, Kenya Medical Research Institute Library, you will not get communication skills books there. If you go to KEFRI, Kenya Forestry Research Institute, KEFRI, yes, you will not find books like management books there, or like health and wellness books. Those, they only have books that talks about forestry, KEFRI. KEMRI, you'll only find books that relate to medical research books. The same case with KEMRI. KEMRI is Kenya Agricultural Research Institute. You only find books relating to agriculture and research. Hauwezi pata communication skills book hapo. Same case with UNEP. And UNEP deals with environmental. So if you go to these libraries, those books that are there relate to their field, not any other field. So you will not find mechanical engineering book there or production of short films there. You cannot find such books there. So that is it. These are called special libraries. And there is also what we call university library has rules and regulations which are intended to guide students knowing accepted and expected behavior while using both library resources and facilities. Libraries usually have got what we call rules and regulations. Like eating in the library is not taking great things there, whether it is water, whether it is alcohol, you're not supposed to do that. So then we also have what we call interlibrary lending services and referral services. Interlibrary lending services is sometimes you'll find that libraries have got what we call MOU, Memorandum of Understanding. And you'll find maybe JKUAT, Jomo Kenyatta University, has got a library, has got an MOU with maybe Kenyatta University, such that people from KU can borrow books from JKUAT and vice versa, because they have said that they have got an MOU. That is called interlibrary lending services. That if students from KU can borrow books from JKUAT library, and students from JKUAT can also borrow books from KU libraries. That is interlibrary lending services. And they can borrow books, they can visit those libraries, they can study from those libraries. Then there is also what we call recreation. Recreation is apart from providing resources and facilities for education. The university library also offers resources for recreation. The library can also offer what we call facilities to foster personal interests and hobbies by providing information on study. Then there is also short loan services. Short loan services is where you borrow a book and then you return it within a specified period of time. Then there is reservation services. Reservation services is where a student, if you visit the library and you find that the book that you want to borrow is not there, you can tell the librarian to call you after the book has been returned. That is called reservation. If you go to the library and find that you're looking for a communication skills book, a certain author, and then the librarian tells you that book has already been borrowed, it is not there. It will come back, maybe it will be brought back tomorrow. And you can reserve that, leave your number there. That once the borrower returns the book, the librarian will call you and tell you the book is here, you can come and borrow it. Those are called reservation services. So we also have other usefulness of a library include offering equal opportunity to all students and lecturers without discrimination. Yeah, we should not say that where you don't look like you can take care of a book, so we are not going to give you a book. So books can be given to anybody. That's why sometimes when you visit our library, sometimes we visit our library, we are told that that book is taken by a student and then we reserve them. Unasema akikuja ni sawa. Alafu librarian, you hear him saying that there are two people who have borrowed the book, who have reserved the book before you. Now the librarian will not say, because you are a lecturer, let me call the student to return the book immediately. No, he will actually tell you, wait for them to finish with the book. Then once they return, the last person returns the book, then you come and take the book. That's how it is. It is not with discrimination. Then there are also what we call general yearbooks. General yearbooks, we are talking about books like Guinness Books of Record, the yearbook of world affairs. There is, you can find these such books, and also encyclopedias. You'll find them in the library. Then there is also special yearbooks. Special yearbooks are, if you visit some libraries, you'll find that we have what we call almanacs. If you go to University of Nairobi Library, and I've never seen this in some universities, only University of Nairobi, they have a section called Africana. Africana is a section of the library. It's actually the topmost part of the library. It is on the last floor of the library. Africana is where all the projects, theses, and dissertations that have been stored. That if you're doing a project and you'd want to know how to go about it, if you visit the Africana section of the library in University of Nairobi, you'll be able to be guided by looking at what others have done regarding the topic that you have chosen. It is there. It's called the Africana. Then we also have almanacs and so on and so forth. So there are also sections of the library. I want you to read on them. The short loan section, we've already touched on it. The lending section, this is where you lend a book. The reference section. Reference section, this is where we have reference materials. Reference materials, and you cannot borrow a reference material. Like a newspaper, you cannot borrow. Unless you are borrowing a newspaper of the previous day. You cannot borrow, let's say, for example, a newspaper of that particular day. And if you borrow the newspaper for the previous day, you're only given some hours, maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours to return it, because that is a reference material. Information technology section. We also have the Africana. This is what I was telling you. This is where you find dissertations, theses, projects that were done by others. They are there. And they are used for references. Like, for example, if you are doing a project on effects of media on children, if you visit the Africana, you'll find so many projects that were done on that particular topic, and they will be able to guide you on what they did and what you should actually do. To also have what we call the loose periodical section. Now, loose periodical section is where we have, let me go to loose periodical section. It contains daily newspapers. It contains weekly and monthly magazines, or what we call journals. This is called the loose periodicals. Then we also have bound periodical section. Bound periodical section, like I can remember when I was in high school, we had what we call the bound periodical section, whereby you'll find all the newspaper, nation newspaper, from Monday to Sunday, the whole year, they have been bound together. So if you are given that big book, you'll find all the newspaper bound together, Nation, the Standard, and the Star. Now that one is bound periodical section. And that particular thing, you cannot go with it anywhere. You can only use it in the library. Then there is also what we call bibliographic section. And this section deals with cards and catalogs that are used for located books. Many libraries, including our library, if you visit it, you'll be given a catalog. A catalog is a number that you're given and you're told this book is in a certain shelf or in a certain library. Niaje, daktari? Very fine. I'm okay. Nitatoa, it's only, I'm in class, na ngoja tu nimalize ndio nirekebishe. Yes. In the next 3 minutes, I'll be done. Okay. Sawa sawa, karibu. So that is it. When you're talking about this particular section, sorry for that. I had created a Zoom class, Zoom meeting, and I gave the wrong data. Now, we have also what we call the bibliographic section, and it deals with cards, catalogs that are used for locating books within the library. And there is also what we call the children section. Children section in a library is a section where we have children go and interact with materials that are of their age. You'll find that there are cartoon books there. You find that there are what we call story books. These story books are particularly written for the sake of the children. And then there is also what we call interlibrary loaning section. I've told you what interlibrary section means, that if two universities are in agreement that our students can come to your university and borrow books and vice versa, then there's a loaning section called interlibrary loaning section. If a student from a certain university come and then he goes to interloaning section and we allow him to take that home. As simple as that. So having said that, I think I've come to the end of today's lesson, unless there is a question, unless we have a question on library skills. Also shared what we call the link to WhatsApp link. Those people who have not joined that particular link, that particular group. So if you know very well that you have not joined the group WhatsApp, kindly join that group, because there are some things that will be happening and my friend will not know what is happening and he will keep on complaining and complaining and complaining. For example, I know there are people who did not do assignment 1. I know there are people who did not do 1. I also know there are people who will not do assignment 2. I'm not going to talk about it. Maybe one day I'll talk about it.